Hello everyone. Today, like the bored creature I am, I thought of a great video idea. So today, I thought I would talk about one of the main fandoms I happen to be in, Hetalia. Hetalia was originally a manga series that I think is still going on and has been for a long time. The first ever anime adaptation was either aired in 2008 or 2009. The main premise is to simplify historical events in a comedic form, personifying nations by using national stereotypes. However, its forms on comedy and accurate representation are all up to the audience. It doesn't always focus on this. Sometimes it has story-filled episodes that usually have nothing to do with the country itself, but rather the characters as people. As far as I'm aware, most of the characters were given official human names, or the fans just collectively agreed on one. Some characters have faced controversy before, and the show definitely has major flaws. Personally, for me, it's the animation quality. The reuse of animated scenes doesn't bug me as much, and I don't really care, but it does affect the quality of the show, especially in the Axis Power seasons. Season 7 was released last year, and the art and animation quality has definitely improved from the first season. Another thing would be the representation of certain countries and certain stereotypes being used. Some of them bog me a lot, especially ones that have faced major controversy. Now, how did I discover this anime? Well, back in 6th grade, I often used Wattpad at school. I say that, but I actually wasn't using it that much. Instead, I used this site called Quotive. It used to be insanely active and popular back in like 2015 and 2016, but it has since died down and isn't as big as it used to be in my opinion. I only use Wattpad to read Dear Starboy and never really anything else. Now, since I use Quotive more often, I remember I got into Country Humans, and I went on Quotive one day to find Country Human fanfiction and instead got a slew of Hetalia. Now, I had really no idea what it was, but attempted to read one book and gave on it quickly because I didn't know anything. Then I started using Wattpad more because there were more Country Humans books on there. However, I remember one day, me and my brother were chilling in his room and I remembered the book on Quotive I attempted to read. It took me a moment to remember the name before I asked my brother to go to Hulu and search Hetalia, and sure enough, I got a result: the Axis Powers. I was fairly interested with just the art style I saw, so we watched it. The first episode had me and my brother dying as soon as Feli, or North Italy, screamed pasta. 11/12-year-old me was wheezing for air as we even replayed the scene because we thought it was just that funny at the time. As the months went on, I really got into Hetalia, and it was up in the same spot with Country Humans. Since I love history, it just kind of stuck with me all these years, even if my interest in Country Humans is much, much stronger than any other interest. My Wattpad libraries are filled with all Hetalia books that I haven't read in ages, and of course books I no longer like because the plots are bad, and a lot of the fandom is just not good. So most of the books happen to end up being problematic. Almost all fandoms are problematic in one shape or form, some way more than others. However, I just wanted to say this. If someone doesn't like your fandom and doesn't want you to interact, but they are also in a bad fandom, they're still allowed to feel uncomfortable with your fandom. You can't argue feelings, well, until that person themselves is just terrible, because sometimes their feelings might be false and the things that they're saying could be misinformation. But other than that, people are allowed to be uncomfortable with certain fandoms, despite being in a fandom that could be similar or maybe worse. Now, the Hetalia fandom is just very, very weird. A lot of the fans identify as women and only write yaoi in boy love. A lot of them with sexual scenes as gay men come off really, really weird in those books. And as a gay man, that makes me really uncomfortable. A lot of books, especially Russian-made books, have some sort of incest plot where one or both of the characters, siblings/other family members, found family or otherwise specified as family, being obsessed with one of the two characters involved in the ship. A lot of these books wrongly portray the way incest works, often romanticizing it and making the couple seem cute, or just using it as a plot point because they have nothing else to put in there. and it makes me, and probably a lot of other people, uncomfortable. A lot of books, however, really convey how weird and creepy incest is, and that the trait is just disgusting and it is a disgusting act that should never be committed or shipped, usually portraying the relationship as unhealthy, abusive, and even sometimes even have the other character in the book look down upon it just because the characters are related in some way. One ship that makes me uncomfortable is US-UK because, I believe in the show, they are found family. There was even an episode when Arthur and Francis fought over who gets to be America's older brother, and Arthur winning, which is really weird in some books. They even say they are related. Now, before you get mad at me because people can have different headcanons, I'm not saying you aren't allowed to have headcanons for characters. It just gets a little weird when the source has its own canon and the family members are shipped despite headcanons. Hetalia is the source. It has a manga, a defined creator, an animated adaptation, and now, for an example, I'm going to bring Country Humans into this. Country Human has no defined canon. No comic, no web series, no animated adaptation, nothing to go off except the original designs created by this person that most of us don't even know 4+ years ago. Country Humans can't have a canon. Its source is unknown. It's just free media. Hetalia does have a canon. The canon can be changed. However, that doesn't mean some changes can't be viewed as weird and people can't be uncomfortable with it. Another ship I don't like is Romano, because Romano met Spain when he was literally a child, and Antonio was a full-grown adult, mature man. To me, they have more of a brotherly bond, or kind of like Romano slightly views Spain as a father figure. I used to like it when I was 11 and 12 because I was immature and stupid, and I was like 3 to 4 years old now, so I can just get much better grasp of things. A lot of people view Francis, Arthur, Matthew, and Alfred, or France, England, Canada, and the United States, for those who don't remember the human names, as family, the FICE or FACE family, usually with Francis and Arthur as the parents or the oldest brothers, and Alfred and Matthew being the children or the youngest brothers. Despite this, a lot of people have them as family regardless of how their family headcanon works. So I get really uncomfortable with any ships where the four are in some sort of romantic relationship when they're specified as family. I have a love-hate relationship with the fandom and the show. I like a lot of the show. There are a lot of good things in it, but there are also, of course, a lot of flaws. But I can't really pull myself away from it. Anything history that I get into usually just stays with me. You can say whatever you want about the show. The show is bad. A lot of the fans also say it's bad. But in the end, it's a show, and some people may be interested in it. But if you are a fandom member, you should acknowledge all the terrible things in the show and not condone them. Defending them will only make you look worse and will put an even bigger stain on the fandom's reputation. So, whatever you think, this video is just me talking about this fandom that I happen to be in. So, if you did like the video, I hope you continue to like the video. And I don't know what to say now. Oh, bye-bye!